More and more experts are sounding the alarm on what they say is a mental health crisis among America's youth. A recent survey found 50% of people between the ages of 18 and 24 reported experiencing symptoms of anxiety and depression this year. Our next guest is set to introduce a resolution today that he hopes will get the ball moving on enacting policies that can help teens and young adults. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Seth Moulton of Massachusetts. He's a combat veteran who served 4 tours with the U.S. Marines. And it's great to have you on the show. I think everybody on this show agrees that the nation's kids are in crisis, that young adults are in crisis. What are you hoping to do to get bipartisan action to address these problems across the board?
Well, first of all, what the resolution hopes to do is just bring attention to this crisis. I mean, 50%, 1 out of every 2 adolescents in America has faced a mental health crisis, and we're really not doing much about it. We're not even talking about it enough. But by talking about it in Congress and telling schools and counties and cities across the country that you need to really devote resources to this crisis, we hope to have an effect. You know, one thing that I did a couple years ago is I passed 988, the nationwide 3-digit mental health hotline. But still, not enough people know that it exists. We want everyone to know that if you have a mental health crisis or you see a friend who has a mental health crisis, dial 988. That's an example of one of the things that we need to bring attention to by having this resolution pass through Congress.
Congressman, I was listening to an Ezra Klein podcast the other day that was presenting pretty compelling evidence that the situation is particularly acute amongst teenage girls. Actually, teenage girls in more liberal households, because the parents tend to be more permissive of their access specifically to social media, and that if you chart the rise in mental health problems amongst teenage girls, you can see it correlates almost identically with the time that social media and social media apps have been available. We know that there have been hearings on the Hill in the past about things like Instagram and teen girls. What's actually being done to try to, I don't know, do you limit access? Do you try to control the algorithms? What is being done by Congress on this?
It's a great question, because behind the scenes we are having this debate. In fact, Congressman Chris Stewart, Republican of Utah, fellow veteran, he and I passed this 988 law, and we're discussing right now whether we should put some restrictions on social media. Of course, there are a lot of members of Congress who don't even want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. There will certainly be backlash if we start telling Americans what you can and cannot access online. But the fundamental question is, do we need to do something to save lives? We haven't made a decision on that yet. We haven't come to a conclusion as to what the right thing is to do. But the fact that a lot of people don't want to do anything, it's the inaction that's paralyzing, and every single day more teen girls die. I'll tell you, I'm about to get my 2-year-old and 4-year-old out of bed to take them to school. And I feel so lucky that they're that young, that they don't have access to social media yet because of this crisis that's happening before our eyes.
Congressman, good morning. Jonathan Lemire, I want to turn you to the ongoing debt ceiling negotiations now, just a little more than a week until the deadline. We know President Biden and Speaker McCarthy meeting today, and though they seem fairly far apart on a deal, even if they reach an agreement between these two men in the coming days, still a pretty heavy lift ahead in terms of getting the votes to get this passed in the House, and particularly if McCarthy loses some far-right Republicans who just will object to all of it. So let me ask you this. What is your confidence level about being able to get something passed, about having some Democrats be willing to vote for this?
Look, I think Democrats are going to do the right thing for the country, and that's the other have to understand about a negotiation. What is each side's bottom line, right? And Democrats' bottom line throughout this entire debate has been doing the right thing for the country. That's why we raised the debt ceiling 4 times under President Trump. We didn't like what he was doing. We didn't like his tax cuts for the wealthy. We didn't like the cuts he was making to essential services for people who really need help in America. And yet we raised the debt ceiling because it was the right thing to do for the country. But the Republicans' bottom line is catering to these extremists. That's their bottom line. And if you're asking me to predict, how far they will go, like how many times they will have to go through votes for the speaker just to get Kevin McCarthy elected. I mean, this is like negotiating with terrorists. It's obscene.
Democratic Congressman Seth Moulton of Massachusetts, thank you very much for what you're doing. Thanks for being on the show this morning. We appreciate it.